Get on camera, bro. Get on camera, bro. Welcome back to Dirt and the Rambler. We just watched a bunch of clips that I had from various gaming places, but a couple Fallout-related ones. Very funny Fallout-related ones. Speaking of Fallout... check that one out! I watched the Fallout show recently. I didn't watch it all the way through. I watched up to episode 4, I believe. At the time of recording this, and I'm sure it won't be topical, by the time I actually upload this one, maybe I'll upload them out of order. No, that wouldn't make sense because I said it was episode 9 in the last one. So if it's episode 10, it would screw people up.
10 episodes.
This one's episode 10.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
How many? I wonder how many religious people we have. I mean, like religiously watching us, not.
I was gonna say
religious people.
Probably like 5.
5, you think?
5 or 10.
Like that will actually watch them as they come out.
5.
5
minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
I had
3. Minimum of 3.
I had one person.
5 though, I would say.
One person messaging me, and you know who you are.
Yeah, you motherfucker.
She messaged me.
Or no, not motherfucker. You great. Thank you for messaging one of us.
She messaged me and said, "Oh, Ramsey's just the funniest person. I just cannot." And I'm like, "Really? Yeah, you know who you are. Really?"
It wasn't. I'll mute it. Well, you know what? Thank you, person whose name was just muted. I appreciate it. I actually got a couple messages too. Yeah.
Not about me.
No, not
probably
about...
No,
No, just about the podcast in general. Oh. I didn't get people inflating my head, already bigger than it already fucking is.
Yeah. I'm salty now.
It's huge already.
Salty now.
Sorry, you salty bitch.
Yeah.
Too bad I'm goated. I'm goated as fuck, and people realize it. Look.
Might as well just be Rambler and Dirt occasionally.
Rambler and the beautiful piece of eye meat, right? What?
Who messaged you?
Or
I guess what would they have to say? Doesn't have to be who, but
2 messages. They said that it's funny.
Yeah?
It's good. It's funny and good. Yeah. On episode 8, it would have been.
8.
Which is our first video one. So it makes sense why people would tune in, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, this one is going to be episode 10, probably. Mm-hmm. But an untimely 10, of course, because, obviously.
Okay, back to what we were talking about.
Fallout.
We're terrible at this.
Fallout the show.
We're terrible at this podcast, but yeah, it's the greatest podcast
we've ever seen. We're so awful.
Dirt and the Rambler.
I'm sorry, guys. Episode 10. I'm going to talk about Fallout, the show.
Yep.
It's an Amazon Prime exclusive show.
Exclusive?
Yeah, exclusive.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're allowed to do things, which I will get into because I don't like them. So, Fallout, if you don't know, it's a post-apocalyptic world. The current owners are Bethesda. It started with Interplay and Black Isle Studios with Fallout 1 and 2 back in the 90s. Then Bethesda bought the rights, made Fallout 3. A lot of you probably know Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. You probably know both of those ones. Fallout 3 was the first one Bethesda made. I hate Fallout 3. I think it's a bad game. That being said, this show is good so far. I'm only on episode 4, which is the one with the super duper marked. I just finished that one. It's okay. It's okay so far. And look, people who don't know me or don't know what I play, I am a super autist about Elder Scrolls and Fallout, both of them. I know all of the lore, everything about it, all of it. So if I'm saying it's a good show,
it's pretty good then.
It's pretty good. I also have the degree in the movie making and stuff like
degree.
I'm actually.
My name's on a piece of paper.
I have a piece of paper.
Yeah, actually that piece of paper stayed in my car for probably a year after I graduated. I'm going to be honest. I didn't take it out of my car. So you can see how much it means to me. But
yeah, or how much it just means in general.
Yeah. I digress, of course. We're not talking about my degree, but... Well, we are, actually. If I'm a super autist about Fallout, and I have the degree in the movie making, and I've made short films, I can say it's well made. It's very well made so far. I hope they don't shit the bed in the last episode.
So is
Fingers crossed.
Is
but-
it going to be a series or is it going to be just?
It'll definitely be a series. People really like.
thing.
People really like it.
Yeah.
So I think they'll make because they only made 7 episodes,
Okay.
but each of them are an hour long.
Okay.
So I'm sure they'll make a season 2. Same thing, 7 hour long episodes. Well, I'll just give you a quick rundown, people who are listening, if you haven't watched it, right? Because it's on Amazon Prime.
Or played the game.
Or played the game. Although the games don't really.
Doesn't partake.
I'll probably end up rambling about it after I talk about the show.
Oh, I'll cut you off.
How about Dirt and the fucking Cut Offer, huh? How about that? Or how about Cut Offer and the Rambler? I did it in the wrong order. How about the Rambler and the Cut Offer?
Rambler and the Cutter.
Fucking having goddamn fun and talking about shit, huh? How about Rambler and the Bitch? How about that? How about Bitch and the Rambler?
Bitch and the Rambler.
That's if we get a bae on the show. If we get a bae on the show. Not that I'm calling baes bitches. I would never do that. It's just, it's a term, right? Yeah. Call me a douche if you want.
I still like burp and the farter myself.
Bitch and the doucher.
Don't burp and the farter.
Burp and the farter is probably our best one so far. But Fallout show. It opens with a pre-war guy doing some fucking like cowboy shit. Turn your ringer off, you goddamn troglodyte. Turn it off, you lobotomite. That's a Fallout reference for people who are paying attention.
Silent
Mode. It has been silenced. The phone has been silent.
I'm sure they didn't pick it up. I'm just being anal. Speaking of anal. No, not speaking of anal.
No.
It starts with a pre-war guy doing some birthday party or whatever. He's like a cowboy. And he's like, well, I'm going to be a cowboy. Whatever. He's doing the birthday. And in the Fallout universe... I'll start with that, actually. In the Fallout universe, the whole lore of the game, it's a post-apocalyptic world after the world was, victim of a nuclear war, Armageddon, essentially between the Americans and the Chinese. And probably once those nukes were sent at each other, every other country in the world sent nukes as well. It's safe to assume the entire world was a victim of nuclear Armageddon on a grand scale. Mutually assured destruction, if you will. If you're familiar with that. Mutually assured destruction?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got a PhD in it.
What is it then?
Yep.
True story, actually. So, it starts with that, and he's doing a birthday, blah, blah. He's talking to his daughter, and he's like, well, in the Marines, they said if you, put your thumb up, right? Because someone asked him to put his thumb up for a photo, and he was like, given what times we're living in, I don't want to put my thumb over it. He's like, in the Marines, they taught us if you put your thumb up and the explosion is bigger than your thumb, you need to run. Or no, if the explosion is bigger, if the explosion is smaller than your thumb, I'm fucking this up. If the explosion is smaller than your thumb, you're okay. If it's bigger than the thumb, it's too late, right? That's what he said, right? And that's obviously referring to a nuclear cloud, which is funny because that was, the Vault Boy symbol, and I'll put it on the green screen that we have. Look at that, it's the Vault Boy. He puts his thumb up. That was like an old urban rumor that the reason that he had his thumb up was because of that
Checking
thing.
the blast.
Yeah, so they immediately did that in the beginning of the series, and I was like, that's cute. Even if it's fake, that's cute because they're still they know the fan base.
It's thought out.
Yeah, they know the fan base, and they understand that that's a reasonable enough thing to claim, right? It's reasonable. Yep. It's fake. It's totally fake. That's not the reason that the Vault Boy was doing the thumbs up. In the original game, he just was doing it because it's a thumbs up, right? Not much thought put into it, but it's a nice thought. So he's like that, blah blah, and then he goes and gets cake for his daughter because his daughter was at the party. A bomb drops, and she puts her thumb up, and she's terrified because she's 7, and then he comes out, and she's like, "Is it bigger than if it's bigger than my thumb or your thumb?" And he turns around, looks at it, and he's like, "Oh shit!" So yeah, bomb drops, and then everyone at the party. They were watching TV. They didn't even notice the bomb dropped. But then the shockwave hit the glass, and then they turn around, and then everyone starts driving away. And then he hops on a horse with the daughter, and then you see 4 more nukes dropped. Yeah.
So obliterated.
Obliterated, yeah. It's Los Angeles.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, because it's Los Angeles. In real life, Los Angeles would get a couple nukes. California itself would probably get Chicago would get some.
Sadly.
New York would get some. A lot of them would get some.
Just the bigger cities.
Bigger cities and more influential areas. I'm sure
Tampa. Tampa would get a couple.
Miami would get a couple. Yeah. Really, a lot of the capitals would get a lot, except for the ones in the Midwest, like North and South Dakota. I doubt anyone would nuke them at all. Or Wyoming, no one would give a shit.
But see,
they'd still get Fallout though.
See, I don't think Chicago would get hit right away because it's so landlocked I feel like we'd catch that before then, wouldn't we?
I guess so. Yeah. At the time, though, in the Fallout universe, because
I'm saying just in real life.
in real life we might catch them. Yeah. In the middle of the states, we might catch those ones.
Like Florida, New York, California would get hit.
California would get hit really easily because if it's coming from China, that's the closest state. That's the closest state. Well, Hawaii is, but you only need one nuke for Hawaii.
They wouldn't attack Alaska.
No. Well, that's the whole crux of actually the original lore for Fallout. We're going to get into that right now. Really quick. The reason that everyone started fighting with each other is because of resources. Alaska was the last bastion for oil in the entire world, and so the Chinese assaulted Alaska.
Oh.
And there's a DLC in Fallout 3, Operation Anchorage, Anchorage, Alaska. So they attacked Alaska and tried to take it over forcefully because they had oil and China needed oil, and so we fought them off. And the Fallout universe, the bombs were dropped in 2077. But there's a bunch of weird little timeline divergences in it where, like, superconductors were never invented. So we still use, like, vacuum tubes for everything.
Oh.
Because superconductors, they were the...
In, like, 2020?
Yeah.
We'd still be using them?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Because we never invented a way for technology to go through anything other than vacuum tubes. Because that's what a superconductor or semiconductor is, That's a way for electricity to run through technology in a smaller form and a quicker form.
Okay.
We never invented that, right? That's a very generalized topic. I don't know what a semiconductor or superconductor is. Very generalized, of course. But they had only had vacuum tubes. So everything was still in, like, a 50s kind of timeline, right? And you see that in the games. You see a lot of 50s-esque kind of cars and designs.
Especially like at the beginning, you're...
And like Fallout 4, and at the beginning of Fallout 4, you see a lot of like...
straight 50s.
Yeah, white picket fences, nice TVs, nice cars that are kind of like 50s-esque cars, But, yeah, so it starts with the pre-war and then it goes to a vault, which, for those who don't know, the vaults were designed by Vault Tech pre-war, right? The Great War, as it's called, to house essentially rich people.
I'd say the more wealthy and...
But they weren't only for the wealthy. In reality, the Vault Tech vaults were designed to be science experiments for the post-war.
Oh.
All of them have some sort of experiment involved with them, right? In one of the vaults, there's 99 men and 1 woman. In another vault, there's 99 women and 1 man. Right? There's another one where which some of these don't appear in game. They're only in like a specified kind of like, it's called a Fallout Bible. But I don't know if it's canon at all anymore because Bethesda bought it.
Yeah.
And, they're doing whatever the fuck they want. This was written before Bethesda bought it with Fallout 3. There's a vault which is just one guy and then a box of puppets. There's another one where it's like an entire vault just filled with a guy named Gary.
Like all Garys?
All Garys. And they run around, they only say Gary, and they kill anyone that isn't Gary. Because it was like a cloning thing. They were trying to clone the perfect worker, but every generation of Gary just became more violent and more xenophobic towards people who weren't Garys, right? So every single vault is just a test.
Yeah.
Okay. There's some that aren't tests. Like, I think there's one that's just literally a vault. I don't remember which one it is. I think it was Vault City in Fallout 2. I think that one was just meant to be like just, the next generation of humans, saving America,
Was Fallout 4 the more wealthy?
No, in Fallout 4 that was a cryogenic thing. They just froze people.
Oh.
They're testing to see how long they could last. That's why Nate, that's the name of the sole survivor. His name is the sole survivor because he's the only survivor of the vault, right? Everyone else died because the power failed out and he was just lucky, really. But it goes to a vault. Lucy's in the vault. She's highly trained in a bunch of, combat things and just talking to people. She knows how to de-escalate situations and whatnot. A lot of typical vault things. Because when you're in the vault, you're taught you need to save America. That's your whole purpose. You're saving America by...
repopulate.
And just being a model citizen.
Yep.
Right? That's what these people believed. But like I said, all the vaults were just they were just tests. They were guinea pigs. Every single vault dweller was a guinea pig in all of these vaults. But this one, I guess they were Not really.
Mm-hmm.
It was a three-way vault. That's what this one is, which is kind of a test in itself because, yeah, it was like three interconnected vaults, and they would like send people in between each other to like procreate because obviously if you only have one vault,
full, yeah,
you can't be fucking your cousin. That's not a good idea.
Incestual stuff.
Yes, so this one is kind of more non-test like. It's really kind of
realistic, but yet it's still
more not realistic, just more
has more common sense behind it.
Morality behind it.
Yeah.
Ethics. There's more ethics behind this one. So, yeah, she's getting married to someone from the next vault over, and this is kind of a spoiler, but if you pay attention, it's not a spoiler. And this is the first episode, by the way, so fucking what. But she's getting married to someone she's from Vault 31. That's her vault.
Okay.
Or no, 33. She's from Vault 33. She's getting married to someone from Vault 32, right? So she gets all dressed up, and she has her own little wedding ceremony. With someone from 32, but they're all a little weird. A lot of people from 32 are a little odd. They're kind of just eat weird. They look weird, right? Mm-hmm. So they get married and it's cool, whatever. This is where Amazon Prime comes in. And my brother pointed this out because every Amazon Prime thing he's watched, it's very sexual because Amazon Prime is allowed to do that. They don't have any restrictions, behind sex. So first episode, you see a dude's ass. Just right in the middle of the camera. And I'm like, okay, I'd be fine with it, but fucking the chick doesn't get naked, so fuck you. And look, if you're going to do that, make her naked, too. Let me see her ass. Okay? It's all fair in sex and cum. I don't know. So, yeah, they fuck or whatever. And then it turns out the people from Vault 32 were raiders.
Okay.
Who actually took over the vault and pretended to be vault dwellers, right? Oh. So she had to fight back. She ended up, really hurting the guy with like a bottle, like slicing his neck. And she walked into her former wedding ceremony, and like all the raiders were just killing all the vault dwellers, right? Mm-hmm. So she hit her brother, and her dad showed up, and her dad was just a killer. So he clearly had something behind him besides being the overseer of the vault, because that's who he was. He was the overseer of the vault. Because he, like, grabbed the guy... Because she didn't kill the guy with the neck thing, right? The one she fought. The bottle. Yeah, she didn't kill him. He showed up and grabbed her, and then he came up, punched him, like, 3 times, and then shoved his head in a pickle barrel and drowned him. No emotion. No emotion. So you can tell from him, he hasn't been in this...
military one?
He hasn't been in this vault his entire life. You can tell.
Yeah.
Right? You can tell, because he knows how to kill without feeling anything. Because he just was like...
He wasn't born in the vault. He was...
No. Yeah, you can kind of tell. And later on in the series, you get kind of some more hints about that. And it's kind of cool. I won't spoil that, though. But you can tell. When he kills the guy in the pickle barrel, you can tell...
He's had some life experience.
This is not his first rodeo. That's not his first pickle rodeo, right? Not his first one. So yeah, it gets him. But then he gets taken away by some raider boss. He saves his daughter, obviously. Lucy, who's the vault dweller. And then, she leaves, tries to save him. And then you also have, that's the end of kind of her, right, in that first one. Then you have this Brotherhood of Steel guy. Brotherhood of Steel is this organization of kind of technophiles, really?
Yeah.
They're kind of like tech fascists.
I mean, I can't say anything. I haven't
they're people,
dug into Fallout that much.
They're people that just collect technology because they believe if regular people get technology, the war would happen again.
They'd become dangerous.
The war would happen again. Yeah. They would use the technology against each other, and they would just nuke each other all over again. So they're trying to collect all the technology they can to make sure that doesn't happen again, right? That's what the Brotherhood of Steel is. So this guy is just, this kind of lame Brotherhood of Steel guy, and he, can't really do anything, and his buddy gets, promoted to be a knight before he does, and it shows that he's mad, but then his buddy ends up, something happens to him, or her, I'm actually not sure, him or her, I think it's him. I think it's a transsexual him, I think.
Okay.
Like F to M, I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure. It might just be they. Don't quote me on that.
Or just a masculine and female.
Maybe. I don't know. Because, there can be chicks in the Brotherhood of Steel. That's, well, at least in the game. I don't know. Because the lore in this show is a little weird in some places.
A little off.
I'll get to that. But, yeah, he, something happens to his buddy. And then they question him, and he's like, I didn't do it. Right? And then they're like, okay, you're going to go with this knight, and you're going to find this guy. Right? And then that's kind of the end where that ends off. And then there's this ghoul guy. Like this guy who's a ghoul. A ghoul is a heavily mutated human being. Heavily mutated beyond the point where they look like a human being for the most part. They're just really wrinkly. They're immune to radiation. And they live a really long time. They live a really long time.
They're like a Hulk almost, but not as strong.
They're zombies, but they're only zombies in the sense that they can become zombies. There's a difference between a regular ghoul and a feral ghoul. A feral ghoul is in the name. It's feral, right? It's an animal at that point. It's a zombie. But a regular ghoul is just a human being that lives a long time, is immune to radiation, and is just ugly as fuck. That's really what they are. So there's a ghoul guy, and he's a bounty hunter. Somebody gets him out, and they're like, we need to find this guy. The guy, actually, as it turns out, is a guy that all three of the people I mentioned need. The Brotherhood of Steel needs to find the guy because he has tech in his head.
Okay.
That is important to them because Brotherhood of Steel.
Yep.
For Lucy, the Vault Dweller, she needs to find him because in order to get him, she can get to the raider boss that took her dad.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
And then, he just has a bounty on his head. The guy does. So the ghoul's like, I'm going to get this guy and get all his money.
Yep.
Get the money for it, right? The guy himself is an Enclave scientist.
Okay.
And the Enclave is the former remnants of the United States government.
Gotcha.
So he's kind of important because prior to this, the Enclave was completely annihilated in Fallout 2. And then even more so in Fallout 3. Yeah. Which the timeline for the games is Fallout 1 takes place... The bombs drop in 2077.
Okay.
Right. Fallout 1 takes place in 2161, somewhere around there. So a good almost 100 years. Right?
Yep.
The Enclave is not a thing. Fallout 2 takes place 2231 or something along those lines.
200 years later.
After the bombs drop.
100, yeah.
140 or so.
Okay.
The Enclave is there in Fallout 2.
Okay.
And the person in Fallout 2 blows up their whole thing in Fallout 2. Like, they blow up their big main base of operations. Fallout 3 is 2277.
So not much longer after.
No, like 30 years after 2. Yeah. And in that one, you get rid of whatever is left of the Enclave on the East Coast, because Fallout 1 and 2 take place where the show takes place on the West Coast in California.
Okay, but there's still...
Fallout 3 and 4 and 76, they take place on the East Coast.
The East Coast?
Yeah, like Virginia, Washington, because Fallout 3 is Washington, D.C.
Okay.
So you get rid of, the Enclave in Fallout 3, and then Fallout New Vegas happens, which is in Nevada. That one takes place 2281.
Okay.
And then Fallout 4 is 2288 or 87, 2287. Not that long after.
Yep.
The show takes place 2296.
2296?
So it's after everything.
After all that.
After all of it. So it's cool that the Enclave is a thing because they're clearly very far up north because later in the show, he's running away in the base and there's snow on the ground.
Okay.
So he's somewhere up north, like maybe Canada. The Enclave might be in Canada.
Yeah.
Because Canada in the Fallout universe was annexed by the United States. So they took over Canada.
Yeah.
So technically, if you're on Enclave logic,
would be the United States still.
Exactly. So it's really
perfect place for hiding.
Yeah, it's really cool so far. The show's really cool so far, I think. I hope that they don't mess with some of the already pre-established lore, but I've seen a couple spoiler things or heard some. Sounds like they do, and I'm not huge on that. But
I was just gonna say, do you think this show is going to keep them with coming out with another Fallout game? Like, do you think it'll pretty much block or take up that space for Fallout 5, let's say?
I think...
Or do you think they'll make a game off of what they came up with?
I hope they don't do that.
No?
I hope they don't do that. I want it to be a separate story from the games.
So you think it'd be like 2300?
2301. Somewhere around there.
Is where...
Yeah. Where maybe Fallout
5 should come in.
Yes. Because it's been a very gradual progression over it. Because obviously Fallout 1 is, it's in the 21s, right? It's 2161, somewhere around there. And then Fallout 2 is, 2240 or whatever. And then it's always been in 22 for the past, from Fallout 2 to Fallout the show. So yeah, I would think Fallout 5...
Start off at 2301.
Probably 2307. I would say.
Yeah.
2307 would be a good spot because it's not too long after the show. It's 11 years, you know.
Wasn't 4... I don't want to say they're pretty much... Like, stuff was rebuilt. But there was a lot of communities popping up.
In Fallout 4, there aren't a lot of communities. There's really only 3 big ones.
Or was it...
It's Good Neighbor, Diamond City, and Bunker Hill. Actually, out west, where the New California Republic is...
Yeah.
The flag that I have up, the New California Republic, they actually have a lot of different organizations and... Well, not organizations. They have a lot of different towns and settlements that are pretty large and pretty technologically advanced. Just a lot of the things on the East Coast aren't on that level at all because it's the East Coast. If you think about it in real life, there's a lot of, you know, Washington, D.C., New York City, Boston, Philadelphia. There's a lot of really, like, high-profile places on the East Coast that would get obliterated immediately. Yeah. You know? If you think about the West Coast, there's, like, the 3 big towns and... There are 3 big cities in California.
Los Angeles,
San
Vegas, San Diego.
And Sacramento, probably. I mean, that's the capital, but
even
no one gives a shit about that. No one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares about Sorry, Sacramento. Like, no one cares.
I mean, like, let's say just call it Fallout 5.
Yeah.
2301. Do you think it'd be like... They're back up to time to where they were. Like, things were rebuilt. The technology isn't advanced, but they have enough to get a society going.
I mean...
or do you think it would still be...
In Fallout 2 and New Vegas, there's a couple... Because New Vegas itself, in New Vegas, is pristine. But that's because of Mr. House. He completely destroyed the nukes that were coming around Nevada and whatever. But even besides that, New Reno, which is, you know, Reno, California, or Reno, Nevada. It's in Nevada, yeah. Reno, Nevada. That's even kind of a pretty like technologically advanced society there. I mean, obviously they do like prostitution there, so I mean that's probably why they have all the money. They have prostitution and gambling there.
Yeah.
But they're still like advanced in a way that you don't really see on the East Coast, just because again it was leveled because of all, you know, New York City and all those other high profile places.
Yeah.
But I think Fallout 5. I want Fallout 5 to take place in Chicago.
Chicago?
Yeah.
See, I was thinking like backwoods.
76 is kind of backwoods.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in the Appalachians.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Chicago.
West Virginia.
Chicago would be pretty cool.
There is a game that's set in Chicago. Brotherhood of Steel is set there.
Oh,
but it's Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, and that game is bad. So, yeah. But I want a good game that's set kind of in that Midwest kind of area. You know, the area that we're kind of at, you know? That's what I would really like. And I think that that's kind of the next step. Either that or it would be like a really cool one. I think would be like Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Or like
Miami.
I think Mississippi would be cool. Like around that southern southern area.
The southern sphere would be cool to see more about because you've only ever seen, you know, California and then the East Coast from all the games.
But if you like take and pretty much just follow the Mississippi. If they had a Fallout game where big river down the middle and you got both sides of it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty.
That'd be cool. I think a good one would just be to put it in Texas.
Yeah.
You know, have you be able to go to Houston and Dallas.
Like Houston, Dallas, up into Oklahoma, and call it a map.
Yeah, that would be a great idea. I think that's more likely what they're gonna do next.
Yeah.
You know, that's more likely.
Bethesda. If you need anyone to write some scripts and some game ideas.
I'm really stupid about this shit. Like, really, I am.
Hit 'em up.
I'm really dumb about this. Like, I watch an entire video about like the lore from each state in the universe. There's some states that don't have anything mentioned, like Wisconsin, nothing.
No lore behind it.
No mention at all.
What's Illinois is?
Chicago, Brotherhood of Steel. That's about it though. I don't think any. Freeport actually is mentioned.
Really?
Yeah, it's completely raider infested. Totally took over by raiders, which is not different how it is right now.
Pretty much. God.
Oh, that's great.
I wonder if like, what's Iowa? Is there anything in Iowa?
I don't think there was.
I see that. It seems kind of just.
Yeah. There's a lot of Midwest states that just aren't mentioned in the lore at all.
But I mean, not saying what is there in the Midwest to do, because there's a lot. But you gotta think, it's a lot of farmland. Mm-hmm. So there's not much you can do.
Yeah.
You don't see any video games and like, oh yeah, this is the Midwest.
Yeah, you don't see any. Yeah.
You see big cities.
Fallout would be the perfect place for it. Right? Because you would be able to see the larger cities that are here in the Midwest, and you just see them leveled and people living there. I had an idea where it would be set in Wisconsin, and Milwaukee would be entirely infested with raiders that had the cheese hat on.
Yeah, I mean...
Cheese hat. I'll
it'd
put
be
it on,
like
I'll put it on the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, like a cult.
It would just be raiders. Yeah, it would just be raiders. They'd just be called cheeseheads, and they would run the entire city of Milwaukee, and they would all have the cheese hat on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Packers cheese hat.
That'd be a thing.
Yeah, or just set it in Green Bay. I mean,
yeah,
that would make more sense too. They just call themselves cheesehead, and they just take over Green Bay. That would be funny, I think, and it would be funny, but it would also be like,
and then
it would just make sense
versus Illinois with the Bears.
Yeah. Yeah. There would be like a rival raider gang.
Rival gangs between the cheeseheads and the...
They'd probably just call themselves the Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah, yeah. Or the Yaoguais, they'd be called, because that's what the Bears are called in Fallout. Irradiated bears are called Yaoguais. Yeah.
The Yaoguais. Mm-hmm. And the cheeseheads.
The Yaoguais and the cheeseheads.
There's always a third...
Awesome.
There's a third party, though, in those games. Like, there's not only two sides. There's always, like, a third alternate side. Would that be, like, the farm boys?
If other games are to be believed in lore, the Brotherhood of Steel is centered in Chicago.
Yeah.
They did set up a base there, so it probably would just be the Brotherhood of
Steel, the Bears.
But it's a weird offshoot of the Brotherhood of Steel because they're, like, AWOL. So it could be like the Brotherhood of Steel, but they don't really care about the technology all that much. They just kind of want to take over the area through brute force, which is a cool idea because it would be cool to just have these, giant, hulking, power armor suit monsters walking around. They don't give a shit about technology
except
themselves.
Just taking over the area.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of how they are in Fallout 4, but they still kind of pretend to believe it. I want a Brotherhood of Steel where they don't even pretend to believe in their like previous or pre-established ideals of preserving technology.
Yeah.
They just want to take over.
Yeah.
Because in Fallout 4, they kind of are like, well, the synths, they're a danger to humanity, and when really they just want to kill everything, right? I just want one where they're just like totally unabashedly not afraid to say, yeah, we just want to kill everything here.
Yeah, we just want to take over the area.
Yeah, we just want to take over Chicago. Like that would be a cool idea, but yeah. The Fallout show, very good. Again, I hope it keeps its consistency.
With being alright.
Yeah, except for the sex stuff. Because, truth be told, there isn't a lot of sex even in the Fallout games.
No.
There's not a lot. I mean, you can have a little sexy time with a couple people in New Vegas, but not even any of the companions. Unless you're a specific, like, gender.
Oh.
Right? Like, same sex shit.
Oh.
If you're a dude, you can get with Arcade Gannon, and if you're a chick, you can get with Veronica. But other than that, like, it's just, like, random people that aren't companions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Red Lucy or Sarah in New Vegas, you can get with them, but they aren't companions, right? And even in Fallout 4, you can romance a lot of the companions, right?
Yeah.
But not all of them. But it's never like explicitly implied that you're fucking them or whatever. Never explicitly implied. It's a romance option.
Yeah.
You do get Lover's Embrace. You
They
get
have
that perk.
that
Whenever you sleep with them nearby, you get Lover's Embrace.
They've got that in Starfield, where you can have relationships within, but I've only, I guess, tried it with one.
Yeah.
I haven't went around. Actually, no, I tried it with two, and the other one shot me down.
Your speech was not high enough.
Yes.
Yeah. Or whatever it's called in that one. I haven't played that one.
I don't know what it's called either. After saying it was up on my top games list.
You changed your mind?
I changed my mind. It has fallen off.
I thought you would, because I was like...
It's fallen off as fast as it went up there.
I thought you would, because I remember when you said it, I was like... I was like, really? Or is it just a game you're playing right now? You know?
It's just a game I'm playing right now.
I still haven't really played a lot of that.
It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. I've heard only negative things about that game.
As long as they took to make it, it should have been more refined and more polished.
Yeah.
More of a story.
That's what I've heard. You know, I've even heard the gameplay is just kind of lackluster. Like, I mean, the weapons are just okay.
They're all right. Yeah. But it's still. I like variety in games where there's just an endless variety, like Borderlands. Mm-hmm. There's just an endless variety of
bunch of builds, bunch
of builds. This is strictly, I guess I haven't tried an Iron Man build, or I haven't tried a melee only build, or
in Borderlands.
No, in
Starfield.
Starfield, I just got through the main
melee only is
the main story, and then you pretty much just start over, but you get like permanent buffs.
Yeah.
Based on finishing the campaign first. Mm-hmm. And then it's just, I don't know.
Oh, like New Game Plus, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, melee only that's something I do in like all the Fallout games a lot. Yeah. I love doing melee and like unarmed and stuff like that. But
see, I don't know if you can with in Starfield.
The only time I tried playing Starfield is when I was dog sitting I was at my sister's house. I was dog sitting, and I played Starfield on her fiance's like Xbox One X, because that was the only way I could play it, because my PC can't run that game. You know, I've mentioned it before. The only thing I can really do is have Audacity there and OBS here and record at the same time. I can't really play games that are from this year. I can only play them from 15 years ago. I can only play like Half-Life 2 or G-String, like I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, we need our buddy to come upgrade you.
I know. But yeah, I played it there, and I barely played it at all. But I tried to do like a bouncer, I think it was called.
Okay.
It was bouncer. That was the trade I picked, and it was like unarmed damage or something, like punching. I love doing unarmed. In all the Bethesda games I've played, I love doing it. Mm-hmm. Well, not all of them. In the Fallout games, in Elder Scrolls, it's awful. You can't do it at all. The only way you can do it in like Skyrim is if you're a Khajiit, and even at that point, there's tough. No skill. There's no skills for it. Yeah. You can't upgrade it at all, right? The Khajiit just has a natural buff because they have claws because they're cats. Mm-hmm. So they just naturally do more damage doing unarmed, but they still barely do any damage at all because you can't upgrade them.
Yeah.
They added like gauntlets or whatever, and you could put like unarmed buffs. Yeah, dude. Snap your fingers, Alduin goes away.
Yep.
That's the name of the guy in Skyrim.
Oh.
Did you ever play Skyrim?
I have not. I've always wanted to, but
it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, it's another game that just kind of gets shoved to the back burners, and hopefully one day I'll get to it.
That's a good one.
But
people hate on Skyrim a lot.
It's a good one, but do you think I'd actually enjoy playing it?
Yeah. You said you like the open world ones, right?
Yeah.
Totally open world.
But it doesn't. Does it give you?
Yes, there are quest markers. You can completely follow the quest to the number if you want.
Okay.
But you can also look at, because when you're walking along at the bottom of the screen, you have all the little funny little markers that show you different things you can discover.
Yep.
Right. And you know if they're discovered or not, whether or not they're filled in with white. Right. So when you're walking to your next quest mark, you can be like, that cave looks interesting. I'm gonna walk to that cave, and then you go to the cave and you kill all the bandits inside, and you're like, and then you loot all the bandits and the chest. Because there's always a chest at the end of every single cave or like stronghold. There's always a chest, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do that, and you're like, "Ooh, that was fun." And then you keep going towards the quest marker until you see another cave. That's the gameplay loop in that one.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's kind of like Fallout 4. In Fallout 4, you do the same thing. You kind of follow the quest marker, and then you see, there's a building here I haven't discovered. So you walk in, you kill the raiders, and then you loot them, and then you grab all the desk fans and duct tape and wonder glue you can find, and then you walk out and go back to the quest marker.
See, that's what I'm bad with in video games. I'm a severe hoarder in video games.
In Fallout 4, you need to be a hoarder.
I pick everything up. Even Borderlands. I will pick every gun up, try it, and if it doesn't work, then I'll pitch it or sell it.
Yeah.
It's just something I do. I'll pick everything up that I possibly can. Starfield, that was the same way.
Yeah.
Oh, I killed someone. Well, let's take their gun and all that. And if it's better than mine, then I'll use it. And if it's not, I'll toss it.
In Fallout 4, you need to know what to pick up.
Yeah.
Right? And it just depends on the material. I would say in Fallout 4, the only thing you need to focus on picking up is aluminum, screws, gears, oil, and adhesive. Those 5 are really... That's what you need for all of the gun upgrades. If you're just looking for gun upgrades, all you need. If you're looking for armor upgrades, you need like leather and cork and shit like that.
Yeah.
But that's kind of easy to buy. The other stuff isn't very easy to buy. You have to just kind of pick that up. So desk fans, aluminum cans, oil cans, gas canisters, duct tape, Wonder Glue, all really useful. All of those. You know, there's a couple things that are just totally pointless to pick up. A lot of them are pointless, like the toy cars or shit like that. They have screws in them, but like
not worth
one
picking
screw.
up. Yeah.
The desk fan has 3 screws. Right, so ignore the fucking toy cars. Just pick up a desk fan.
Yeah.
Right, it comes with just playing the game a lot, and I've just played a lot of Fallout 4 that I know what to pick up and what to like. You know, get the fuck out of my face. Yeah, get out of my face.
Yeah,
right?
see, I haven't done a deep dive into the games yet.
Yeah, Skyrim's a good one. You'd like that one. You would. I mean, most people like Skyrim. Honestly, if you don't like Skyrim, you're just a hater. You're just a hater. You expect too much from a video game. How about you just have a little
Skyrim
fun?
come out in like 07?
2011.
2011? Yeah.
07 would have been Oblivion, but that was actually... Oblivion was 2006.
Okay.
Yeah. So that one's old. I don't like Oblivion. It's ugly and fucking not fun. Skyrim is good looking for 2011, and it's fun, you know? Yeah, people just hate it because... I don't know. They expect a lot from... video games.
Yeah.
And it's like, how about you just have a little fun with a video game
isn't
for
Skyrim
once in your life, huh?
Not medieval.
It's kind of medieval.
It's like it's back in the day where you still use swords.
Swords and magic and shields and stuff. It's kind of Middle Ages. That's a whole nother lore thing I could get into, but I'm not going to. Yep.
I can't think of the name of the game now. Fable. Have you ever played Fable?
No.
Any of the Fables?
Nope.
I thought Fable was a pretty good game.
Is that like an RPG?
Yeah. It'd be like it sounds like Skyrim. It's got swords, magic type deal. It's kind of it's not really open world, but you can definitely take and go.
Sure.
Follow the quests.
Yeah.
Here's another side quest to do. I think I had that for the 360.
Those are all on Game Pass, I think.
Yeah.
Like all 3 of them are.
Yeah.
I've never downloaded any of them.
I played 3. I haven't played the first 2. Which that might be my problem with video games too. I never played the first one and like work my way up to the more recent games.
Sure.
It's just hop on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Play it.
See what's cool
not
right
really
now.
like
See
it.
what's cool right now. Yeah.
Hop back on Minecraft or Farm Sim and call it good.
Yeah. I've thought about those ones. I don't know. I just never downloaded them. Really.
They're pretty fun.
You know, there's no reason behind it. I just was like, you know, I don't feel like it.
Yeah, you'll download any new Lego game though. You can.
For the most part.
How many times did you beat Lego Batman?
Honestly, probably only like twice. We beat it. I beat it recently with my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, we beat it recently. We also
like 100%.
I think we're still in the midst of that. We're really close though.
That's my problem too. I get on a game, or like say I've played. Back to Borderlands.
Yeah.
I just want to 100% complete that game, do every quest, but I get maybe halfway through it, I'm like, God, it's just so much. I just can't.
Yeah. No, especially when you get to Ultimate Vault Hunter mode in Borderlands 2, it's like, oh my God.
Like,
I have to get to level 80, It was 72 for such a long time, and then they did the
OP.
the Commander Lilith, the Fight for Sanctuary, and they were like, oh, we added 8 levels, and it's like, oh my fucking god. Now I have to get to level 80 instead of 72.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I don't know. That's hard with me with games. I always want to, like, fully complete.
No, I'm totally like that. I love getting achievements.
Like achievement hunting?
Fuck! Not hunting. I just kind of actively pay attention to what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll hunt them if I'm close. In New Vegas recently, I was playing a character that was a stealth guy, and in one of the achievements on Steam is to pick 50 pockets.
Yeah. Which,
if you've played Fallout, how many times have you picked a fucking pocket?
Maybe once.
Maybe once.
That was the tutorial to tell you how to pick pockets.
Maybe fucking once. Imagine doing it 50 times. So through gradual gameplay, right? I'm not talking like walking into the New Vegas Strip and picking every pocket of everybody in the Strip, right? Within the span of like an hour. I'm talking gradual gameplay. Every so often I'd pick a pocket.
Just keep it in the back of your mind.
Yeah, back of my mind. I reached level 23. Got the achievement. So 23 levels. That's how long it takes to get that one. 50 pockets picked.
If
I'm not just like totally like
grinding, just picking pockets.
Yeah, totally. Tunnel visioned on it, right? Another one was just getting all of the companions. That one was kind of easy. I just was kind of checked who I had. I needed like Arcade Ganon and Lily. So that one wasn't too bad, but yeah. Sometimes I'll look through the achievement list, and I'll be like, I could get that one.
That one shouldn't be too hard to get.
Yeah.
I was doing that with Deep Rock.
Yeah.
I'm like, kick every barrel in the launch bay.
Did you do that? Did you do that one?
Yeah.
Every time I try to do that one, I accidentally start a mission.
No.
On the timer,
in the actual launch bay.
I was trying to do the drop pod one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's so hard.
Does that get a barrel in each seat in the drop pod?
I've done that one. But there's another one where you just get every barrel in the ship,
really,
into the drop pod.
Yeah, there's no way. You can't.
You can fit them all in there, but
you can't get in and out fast enough.
Yeah, it's 5 seconds. If you're by yourself, 5 seconds. Yeah, that's all you have. So like, I was so close, and then I accidentally started the mission, and I was like,
"Yep, not doing that anymore."
I was like, I'm done. I'm gonna try that maybe in a month.
Have you done the?
I haven't done the barrel one.
You haven't done the barrel one?
No, it's hard. Getting 3,000 points within 100 kicks?
Yeah.
Give me a break, Ghost Ship Games. What the fuck do you think I'm made of? That's crazy. I can't do that shit.
What else has...
Oh my god, bro. What?
What else has Ghost Ship made? Like, have they made any other decent games?
No.
No.
The only... Coffee Stain, they published it.
Coffee Stain?
The only other thing they've published is Goat Simulator.
Oh, yeah, I guess they didn't make that.
Well, they published it. They didn't make it. Ghost Ship has only made
Deep Rock.
Yeah.
They need to make more.
They did. They actually made. They made a Deep Rock Survivor, which is that one looks fun. I haven't played it.
Isn't that?
It's like an auto scrolling type, like a Vampire Survivors. If you've ever seen that one.
I think I know what you're talking about.
That one looks kind of fun.
I call it like a top down.
An auto shooter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, top down auto shooter. That one looks fun, but I just haven't bought it because I don't know. I don't think it'll be as good as Vampire Survivors. That one is...
Best game of all time, though?
No. But it's good.
Cookie Clicker. You ever achievement hunt in Cookie Clicker? That shit's hard. Remember we tried doing that one night?
Yeah, you just have to sit there. You don't even do anything.
I know. We left, had the computer running, and we're like... Holy
yeah, let it run and play a little Mario Kart Wii or whatever the fuck, and then we come back and it's like, we're not even close. Not even close. You need 1 bajillion cookies, and it's like...
Who's got time for that? Literally, no one has
not
time
11-year-old
for
me, that's for damn sure. I don't have fucking time for that shit. The hell?
My time is looking up naked boobs.
Naked sexy...
On Google Images.
Booby tits, bro. Boobytits.org. Log into boobytits.org, bro. God damn.
I'm subscribed to boobytits.org.
I'm their premium subscriber. Yeah.
I made it premium.
Diamond level. I'm literally up there, bro. I'm top of the line.
All right.
Yeah,
it's been time.
Yeah, we're at 50 minutes.
the Fallout episode.
No, literally, I talked about that for way too long. Go and watch that show. It's pretty good. I'm hoping they make a second season.
And play the game.
Any of them. I like most of them, except for Fallout 3. That's a bad game. Don't play it.
I'd say, well, I can't say anything. Play New Vegas and 4.
4 is quite fun. And if you're really curious, play Fallout 1 and 2. They're good games. They're just kind of hard to figure out because they're from the 90s and they're hard.
All the old games are hard.
They are.
Like,
guess who else is hard?
Dirt and the Rambler. YouTube, Spotify.
We're both hard at
and subscribe.
We're both hard at the same time.
Go share. And, yeah, Dirt and the Rambler.
Boner